Okay, so they're congruent. So what that means is we're going to set them equal to each other since they're corresponding angles. They're in that same position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this down, and this is what I expect you guys to be doing right now too. So pencil should be up. So 115 is equal to 2x plus 5 because we know that this angle down here is 115 degrees because it's corresponding to angle 4. But it's also equal to 2x plus 5 because that's what they told me. So if they're both equal to each other, I'm going to set them equal to each other. So now we got to make our railroad tracks. So what my goal here is to solve for x. Well, we have 115 equals 2x plus 5. Well, I want to solve for x. So what I have to do is I got to solve for this eventually, but I want it by itself. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Okay, so we did this a few times already this year, but I'm testing your algebra skills. It's been a while since we've done that. 115 minus 5 is 110. That's equal to 2x, and then the 5's here actually just cancel out. So now I have 110 equals 2x. Now my goal is to solve for x. Well, there's a 2 next to it, and what that is really saying is it's 2 times x. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite of times, or multiplication, which is divide. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. When I divide the left-hand side by 2, well, 110 divided by 2 is 55, okay? 2x divided by 2 is, well, the 2's cancel out, and I just get x. So x is actually equal to 55, and that's our final answer because we solved for x, which is what the whole question was asking us to do. So that wasn't too bad. So sometimes we're going to set them equal each other. Sometimes we might have to add them up and set them equal to 180. All right, I hope you guys are bearing with me. I just realized that I'm now going to be a fitness instructor because I found out just how much fun it is to have a microphone attached to my ear. Not as much fun as playing Call of Duty probably for some of you, but still fun. Okay, so just to kind of summarize real quick, so we learned about corresponding angles, we learned about vertical angles, we learned about supplementary angles, okay? We know that some of them are congruent, but not all of them because supplementary angles add up to 180, so they're not always going to be congruent to each other. The others will be congruent, so hopefully you guys understand the difference between those types of angles because come the next day, we're going to be learning about other types of angles with more names, okay? So it's important that you understand those differences. So now on the bottom of your sheet of paper, we see a trip to Washington, D.C. So what I want you guys to go ahead and do is answer the question. So I gave you a map of D.C. It tells me a bunch of different locations that they have there. It says, I'm beginning my tour at the White House. Well, the first thing you're going to do is find the White House. Where is that? Then it says you're going to decide to go to a location at the corresponding angle to it. Okay? Corresponding angle. Got to look back at your notes to see what corresponding is if you don't know what that means. And then it says you decide to visit the location that's a vertical angle to it. And then determine where you are. So I'm going to ask the sub to pause that video right there. I'm going to give you guys about a minute or so, or however long the sub thinks is necessary, to determine those two questions. So question 1 and question 2, and then we're going to come back together to solve it. So go ahead, pause the video right now, please. Alright, so you guys should have had a little bit of time to think about this, so I'm going to go ahead and solve this with you. So it says, I begin the tour at the White House. So here I am, right here. Gotta draw the dress, because you know I'm a girl. Cute little hair. I'm adorable. I look like a cyclops, but I'm adorable. Okay, so I begin at the White House. I decide now to go to the location at the corresponding angle. Corresponding means same side of that parallel line and same side of that transversal. So I'm on top of the parallel line and then on the right hand side, so I'm going to move right here. So now I'm right here. Now I'm at the Supreme Court, lost my hair. Okay, it then says I'm going to decide to go to a location that's a vertical angle to where I'm at now. Well, I'm at the Supreme Court. I want to know a vertical angle to that, so an opposite angle. Okay, so where am I? I'm ending up at the Smithsonian Institute. So this is my final location right here. That's what you should have had as your answer, and I'm hoping that you did. Okay, so now again, I want you to pause that video in case you didn't have time to do that second question, and then we'll do that together. Okay, so now we're going to continue on. So now it says I'm starting at the Lincoln Memorial. So now I'm down here, and I'm getting lazy, so I'm not drawing a dress. Okay, it then says I'm deciding to go to an angle that is supplementary to it, but also to its right. So first I'm going to look at angles that are to its right that make a supplementary angle. Well, that only leaves me this one, so I only moved a little bit. Now I'm at the Washington Monument. Okay, it then tells me I decide to go to that angle's corresponding angle. So corresponding, again, same position. So what you should have had is you should have ended at that National Zoo. Congrats, guys. You guys did a phenomenal job.